Alright guys, so I am out here in Sacramento at the California Highway Patrol. You had to check in, give your license and everything to come here, but I heard that they have a museum here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to film. We're going to try. They have classrooms over here, a lot of training facilities, all the CHP vehicles being worked on. So I'm going to try and go check in at the administration facility here and see if we can film the museum. Fingers crossed. I don't know. Let's see. Pretty cool chopper here. It's got the wheels highway patrol badge and then an old highway patrol vehicle there. Let's see. So I checked in at the front desk and here's the museum for the California Highway Patrol. A lot of the officers up there. (1920s). Old Indian motorcycles that they used to ride. Looks like it takes you through the history here. 1930s. The 40s and 50s. Looks like a display of all the different badges that they've had over the time. Here we got some history of the uniforms that they used to wear and up to now times. Before 1929, it says the highway patrol officers wore whatever they had a preference for. Parts of military uniforms usually. State police uniform. Here's we were at another museum out in Modesto and saw all the various handcuffs. Here's a little more of elaborate, has explanations on the different kinds. Some German made over there. Come-alongs, not exactly sure what those were for. Looks like one side connected to your wrist, the other side connected to something stationary maybe. A waist chain, restraining waist chain. Some old leg shackles, man. Heavy duty. French thumbkins. I guess they restrained just your thumbs in that little device there. Those metal gloves. A neck collar with handcuffs back there, right next to the art. Different cameras. I'm guessing these are things that they've recovered in stops. Machete, Italian bayonets, switchblades here. But this is wild. Just clubs. Sorry for the glare. A Derringer, a zip gun. Not familiar with that. World War II submachine gun there. Those are commemorative weapons there. They're engraved, got the insignia on it. Smith & Wesson definitely is the go-to, it looks like. Oh, look at this, that's cool. A 1984 Olympic torch. I guess the Highway Patrol actually carried that through. Spot of the LA. Here's a crazy display. You got a riot gun down there on the bottom. Got some shotguns. A true flight shell. Gas field shell there. But this is cool. 1928 Tommy gun. Thompson submachine gun, the Tommy gun. A fireless tear gas. You got the modern uniform here. You got a display for a thing that happened in 1970 in Newhall, California called the Newhall Incident. I'm not exactly familiar with this, but it looks like they got a video. Probably not going to sit and watch that, but the Newhall 4 CHP officers were slain at the Newhall incident. Starts with Bobby Davis and Jack Twining. Career criminals recently from prison are planning a series of crimes, including the robbery of an armored car. Their goals that evening included testing weapons and obtaining supplies. It says it only lasted 4.5 minutes total. So at 23.2 seconds, they were searching for explosives in a construction zone to be used in the planned armored car heist. Davis makes a U-turn, cutting off a husband and a wife, and brandishes a 2-inch revolver in their direction. That prompts the call at 23.36 seconds to the dispatch. The officers, Roger Gore and Walter Frago, Unit 788, are advised of the incident 23.37 seconds in. They're dispatched. At 23.55 seconds, Gore and Frago exit the patrol car and take up positions for high-risk stop, because they already knew that the guy had brandished a weapon, or the guys. Officer Gore orders the occupants to exit the vehicle with no comply. Eventually, Davis exits the vehicle while twinning the other guy, stays in the vehicle. As officers approach the passenger door, the passenger shoots off 2 bullets, killing Frago instantly. Officer Gore then diverts his attention from Davis and fires 1 round at Twining while Davis pulls his own weapon, firing twice, with 2 fatal shots to the chest. That's when more officers arrive on scene after they hear shots fired. Davis fires his shotgun at Officer Alien, inflicting more fatal wounds. He emptied his shotgun there. Officer Pence runs out of ammunition in his revolver, and he moves towards the rear of the patrol vehicle to reload, dumping the spent shells on the way. So, you see over here, at 24 seconds in, Twining fires 1 shot at Officer Robinson as his gun runs empty. Both Davis and Twining escape down the dead-end road and then separate and run on foot. And then 4 minutes and 15 seconds later, Davis was apprehended at the roadblock by LA County deputies. He was later convicted of his crimes and died in prison. That's when Twining still flees to a home where he takes a husband and wife hostage and has a 5-hour standoff. So in 4.5 minutes, 4 CHP officers were slain. This is an old highway patrol bike there. I think that's an Indian. So this looks like the 4 officers. You got Gore and Frago, the first on the scene. And then there's Mike Alien and Pence Jr. It's crazy. Trying to do their job, and in 4.5 minutes, all lost their life and couldn't go home to their families. And back to the years, you got the 60s and 70s here, 80s and 90s here, the 2000s and 2010s here. Oh wow, that's Frago's badge there, a name tag, possibly his weapon. I'm not sure if that's actually his weapon. Yeah, this is all from it, look. That one was used by the killers. This one was stolen by Davis when fleeing the Newhall shooting. They all got the evidence tags on them. One of the CHP officers, I'm guessing Frago's watch, the wristwatch there. Looks like there's another whole room here. Oh, this is cool. I used to love this show. CHPS, California Highway Patrol show. Got some old Viewmasters there. Got a helicopter model, a CHPS game, board game, which I didn't know existed. You got dolls or action figures for John and Punch. Eric Estrada signed Punch there. And then Larry Wilcox was John, I believe. More signed stuff there, memorabilia. Some old DVDs, another Punch, Eric Estrada as Punch action figure and a toy motorcycle. Here's a little display talking about their reaching out your public, reaching out to the public there. A lot of the advertisements, different things to kind of help progress. You got the Special Olympics, the El Protector program, Tim Brown Mentor Mini Camp, all things that they have funded to try and help with public outreach. You got some awards here. The Telly Awards. A display for the canines. These look familiar nowadays. They just must have turned these into actual dog toys. But the fire hose toy, super durable. They use that for training apparently. You got a bulletproof vest, canine bulletproof vest. Here you go. Look at this little go-kart here. Highway Patrol go-kart. And then you got the CHP racing outfit there. Another pretty cool motorcycle. There's a motorcycle, it says, with a long history. Harley Davidson there. The Mounted Patrol. First place team here. A little display for a saddle and for the Mounted Patrol on horseback. And then we got a CHP SWAT shield there. And some of the different aircraft models that the CHP would use. Little biplanes, helicopters, single engine planes. They would use this in monitoring high speed chases, probably some traffic. I'd imagine they even do some speed traps on that, like for people speeding down, let's say, Interstate 5. This display is looks like rescue. If you were out hiking and, you know, in a ravine or something that you couldn't get back up, hurt yourself, you'd get airlifted out of one of these. Trusting your life to some ropes. But better than dying in a hole. Here it looks like it's an outfit that one of the pilots would wear, helicopter pilot, plane pilot. I'm guessing helicopter though. And then over here, I'm not sure what this equipment is. Scales, load meter scales, portable scales. I'm guessing a lot of this is for monitoring truckers. And then here's different tech, communication devices, things that dispatch would be using. Always there to answer your call. Radio control, really old police telephone there. That's from the Bay Bridge in San Francisco, Oakland area. And these used to exist. You don't see them much anymore because everybody has cell phones, but these call boxes, 1986 freeway call box. You ran out of gas, had a flat tire, anything like that, needed help, you would just pull over and pick that up and you would be automatically connected to a dispatch. And then here it looks like we got some different generations of the Highway Patrol motorcycles here. That one looks really new. I guess 1998, it's not that new, but looks very new. You got a Kawasaki here, 1996 Kawasaki. Not sure what year this one is here. But look at this. I've never seen a highway patrol trike. That's different. It says it's a 1960 Harley Davidson Survey car. This vehicle was used as a support vehicle rather than an enforcement. Interesting. And then here's a bicycle. Smith & Wesson on it. Do they actually make the bike, Smith & Wesson? Or is that just like a sticker on there? It's interesting. And then it has a history of the different vehicles, you know, 20s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. You got a Camaro. And then the famous Crown Vics. Here's an outfit for the CHP mascot, Chipper. And here's a little display just talking about the 1199 Foundation, which provides $50,000 to families of fallen officers that were killed in the line of duty. It's pretty important. I mean, just think about families who lost all income overnight because some idiot wanted to play cops and robbers. And then you can donate right here. Preserve the past, protect the future. A little thank you to some of the heavier donors there. And I think this is one museum that won't have a gift shop as I leave. So that was the CHP museum. It's the huge California Highway Patrol training facility out here in Sacramento, California. It was free to get in. You just got to sign in a couple times. But pretty cool museum, tons of artifacts and information. A quick little free thing to do that has some important history. So I learned about some things in there. I saw things that I had never seen before. Pretty awesome. And I got to admit, walking around here with a camera, I'm wondering if they think I'm one of those insane YouTube auditor people. Just auditing my tax dollars, guys. Fuck. Anyways, appreciate all y'all. Like and subscribe. I hope to keep making content. Make this my job one day if I get lucky. And with the support of you guys, that's the only way it's gonna happen. So appreciate y'all. Thanks for exploring with me. Take care. Peace.